AirPods firmware updates can fail for several reasons. The most common cause is connectivity issues, such as weak Wi-Fi signals or Bluetooth interference that prevents the update from downloading properly. Another frequent issue is low battery levels in either the charging case or the AirPods themselves. Updates require sufficient power to complete successfully. Outdated iOS versions on your connected device can also cause update failures. AirPods often require specific iOS versions to receive and install firmware updates. Software conflicts may occur with incompatible apps or if your device has been jailbroken. These can interfere with the update process and prevent completion. Finally, physical damage to the AirPods or their components can halt firmware updates. Hardware issues like water damage or worn-out parts may need professional repair. Understanding these causes is the first step to troubleshooting update problems. Identifying the specific issue will help you choose the right solution. Begin with the most basic fixes. First, make sure your AirPods and their charging case have sufficient battery power. Low battery levels can prevent firmware updates from completing successfully. Next, perform a reset of your AirPods through the Bluetooth settings on your iPhone. This clears temporary data that might be interfering with the update process. Ensure your iPhone is connected to a stable and reliable Wi-Fi network. Firmware updates require a strong internet connection to download the necessary files. Try restarting both your iPhone and AirPods. This can resolve temporary software glitches that may be blocking the firmware update. Finally, verify that your iPhone has the latest version of iOS installed. Outdated operating systems can cause compatibility issues with AirPods firmware updates. When basic troubleshooting doesn't resolve AirPods firmware update failures, try these advanced techniques. First, force quit any applications that might be interfering with the Bluetooth connection. Background apps can sometimes block the update process. Second, if you're using a VPN, disable it temporarily. VPNs can sometimes disrupt the secure connection needed for firmware updates. Third, on a Mac computer, use iTunes or Finder to check for AirPods updates and manually start the process. This can bypass iPhone-related issues. Finally, if issues continue, use Apple's wireless diagnostics tool to identify any underlying Bluetooth errors that might be causing the update failure. Firmware is the software that controls the core functions of your AirPods, including features like noise cancellation and spatial audio. Updates are delivered wirelessly through your iPhone's Bluetooth connection when the AirPods are in their charging case. For updates to work, AirPods must be in their charging case, connected to power, and paired with your iPhone. The update process involves three main steps: downloading the new firmware, verifying it for compatibility, and installing it on your AirPods. This entire process typically takes between 5 to 15 minutes to complete. Make sure the AirPods stay within range of your iPhone during the update and remain connected to a stable power source. Apple is increasingly using AI to predict and prevent update failures in iOS. This technology analyzes device patterns to foresee potential issues before they occur. Firmware updates now include battery life optimizations, contributing to Apple's sustainability efforts by extending device lifespan and reducing energy consumption. However, cross-device integration with Apple Watch and Mac can sometimes increase failure rates due to complex synchronization requirements. User education, like Apple's redesigned support app, is also helping to reduce DIY failures by providing clear instructions and troubleshooting tips. One notable case involved widespread AirPods firmware update failures during the iOS 17.2 release in 2023. Millions of users encountered updates that failed due to a server-side bug in Apple's update servers. The issue was resolved with iOS 17.2.1, but affected users often needed to manually reset their devices to complete the updates. Another case featured AirPods Max owners experiencing firmware rollbacks in 2024. Updates accidentally downgraded features like spatial audio, causing confusion and reduced functionality. Apple released a patch to fix this, but some users required Genius Bar assistance to restore their earbuds to full capability. A tech influencer documented a failed AirPods Pro firmware update during a live stream in 2025. The issue was caused by VPN interference blocking the update download. By disabling the VPN and switching to an Ethernet connection, the update completed successfully. This example reached millions of viewers and highlighted the importance of network stability during updates. In enterprise settings, large-scale AirPods firmware update failures have been mitigated through mobile device management tools. For instance, a Fortune 500 company faced issues updating 500 earbuds for remote work. Implementing MDM for centralized updates reduced failures by 60%, providing a scalable solution for organizations deploying AirPods at scale. Expert opinions provide valuable insights into AirPods firmware reliability. Analysts like Ming-Chi Kuo emphasize the need for robust error recovery in firmware updates to handle issues more effectively. Apple insiders suggest that future models will include on-device diagnostics capable of automatically fixing update problems, reducing the need for manual intervention. Consumer tech experts argue that most update failures are preventable through basic checks, like ensuring proper connectivity and battery levels. A 2026 Statista survey showed that 18% of AirPods owners experience update failures, down from 25% in 2023, which is attributed to iOS improvements. If you've exhausted all the troubleshooting steps from previous sections and your AirPods firmware update continues to fail, it's time to reach out to Apple support for professional assistance. The most comprehensive option is scheduling a Genius Bar appointment at an Apple store. Apple's technicians can perform detailed diagnostics to identify hardware issues that might be preventing the firmware update from completing. If visiting a store isn't convenient, you can also contact Apple support through phone support or online chat via Apple's website. These remote options can often resolve software-related issues and guide you through additional troubleshooting steps. Before contacting support, it's important to back up your AirPods settings. This preserves your customizations like ear tip fit, noise cancellation preferences, and any personalized audio settings you may have configured. Finally, be prepared to provide your AirPods serial number when you contact support. This allows Apple to verify your warranty status and check for any known issues with your specific model, ensuring you receive the most appropriate assistance. Remember, Apple support is there to help when DIY troubleshooting isn't enough. Don't hesitate to reach out if you're still experiencing firmware update failures after trying the steps we've covered.